We've talked about how setting Magento store config settings is a common use case for using variables in your cloud project. We're going to talk a little more about how we do that, but first, just to make sure we're clear on what we're talking about, so store config settings available here in the Magento admin are a very key part of managing configuration in a Magento store, and you're likely already familiar with the concept of being able to lock values for these config settings on disk with your app.etc config or app.etc env PHP files. Here in my local environment, in the env PHP file that I'm using for that, I have several values that are locked here, matching config paths for different config settings. For instance, we have for this web SEO use rewrites config setting, we have that locked to a value of 1. And if we come here in the admin to our web section under search engine optimization, I'm unable to set this at all in the admin because that's been locked on disk. So we're talking about that same concept, but being able to lock the configuration for settings like that with variables in the cloud environment, which can be very handy as a way of managing settings, particularly when they're different between different environments in our cloud infrastructure.